We've got a brand new tool that we've never seen before until recently, or maybe we've just been under a rock. And no, it's not the one sitting here, it's the one in this box. So you let us know. We're about to jump right into the action and use this tool for the first time. You let us know if you've seen this before, and if you have, then where? Because we searched for it, and this is the only one we could find. You may be thinking that this is the tool we're talking about, and it's not. However, it is closely resembling this tool. This is a nutsert tool, or a nut insert tool, or basically taking this right here, or a riv-nut tool, I'm sorry. Riv-nut, rivet nut, nutsert, nut insert, several names that they give these. Most people call them nutserts or riv-nuts. Basically, you drill the hole, you take this, you put it on the end of this tool right here, and then if you watch right here, when you squeeze this, you can see how that expands and now squishes to, wherever you put that in a hole. So you drill your hole in a channel or in tubing or whatever it may be, and then you take your tool and you back it out, and then you can put a bolt in there. You don't have to thread the metal, or if the metal's too thin, whatever, put that nutsert in there, and now you can run a bolt in and out of there as much as you want. The cool thing about these is that, like, this is set up for quarter 20, but if I wanted to change over to a, let's say an M10, so a lot bigger bolt, basically, you take these out, take this off, you slide this back, and this may look like a lot, but it's really not. Got to take this part off too. And by the way, I recommend just keep all these kind of finger tight. You can tighten them, but you don't have to put a wrench on them. No need to. Put that cap on, and now you're ready to put in an M10 nutsert or riv nut. So you can change these out to the sizing you need, and you can buy these kits with all those in it. So what the new tool does is really cool. Again, same type of idea. However, instead of nut inserts, don't read my box. Again, I mentioned same type of tool. See, it looks remarkably the same, a little bit shorter, a little bit stubbier. Rivet studs. So if I want a 1024, an M5, or M8, and by the way, it comes with 5 each of these metric and SAE studs. Now, rather than putting in a nut, now you're drilling a hole and putting in a stud. So now you screw these in. I don't even know if I've got the right size in there. Oh, I must. And then now you squeeze this and you put it in. Let's put in a couple and see what we think. So now we've got a piece of aluminum channel, not aluminum channel, we got a piece of aluminum tubing here. And again, this could be steel, it could be sheet metal, it could be in the engine bay. And why do you want studs anyway versus a nutsert? So maybe you just put nutserts in and you can put your bolts in there, take things on and off while you want. Absolutely. However, where studs come in really handy is when you have a scenario when you're regularly taking something off and putting it back on. Look at drag racers, circle track racers, you name it. When they're pulling cylinder heads on and off motors a lot, not only do studs, are they stronger, but they also offer the ability to pull things on and off and center things up a lot easier. So same thing with brackets and things like that you're mounting that may have to come off for maintenance from time to time. Having a stud there where it slides onto place rather than having to take a bolt and find the hole and get it threaded and things like that, that's where studs come in very handy. Now the cool thing about this kit, different than the other kit that I already had, is that this kit right here, by the way, this is made by Astro Pneumatic, so you've probably seen their stuff before. Lots of pneumatic tools that they make, but they make some hand tools as well. So you see Astro Pneumatic Tool Company, and in here it tells you how to set all this up and everything else, very easy to do. But down here they have actually a drill size as well. So let's say we want to do an M8, we go and we need a 7/16 inch drill. So I can open up my drill index, and we see right here it says 7/16. So I can pull out my 7/16 inch drill bit, and And you don't want to think about the stud size, because the 7/16 is not fitting the stud size, it's fitting the shank size right here. So we'll go ahead and so we've got our hole drilled, and we're just going to open this up because that pushes the insert up there, and then we're going to screw this in and make sure it's flush against there. I'm going to put it down in the hole, make sure again it goes down all the way flush. Then we're going to pull the handles together and then turn this knob right here. And that pulls it right off the stud. And now we have a stud right there in M8 size. And let's quickly grab an M8 bolt, M8 nut. M8. And there you go, M8 by 1.25. So now you've got a stud wherever you need it to mount whatever you need to mount. And in case you want to see the nut sert as well, I can take, and I could have done this on that one too, and measure, okay, 346 or 350, 350 thousandths. I can go to my drill index and it actually tells me, or I could actually measure them, but it's this one here. Now we need to switch back over. So now we've got our 1/4-20 back on there. Screw the nut sert on. And there you have it. So now you can put your 1/4-20 bolt or screw in there. So very easy to do. And by the way, changing these out, what comes with the kit, it comes with a 1/4-20, a 10/24, M5, M6, 5/16 by 16, and an M8. So if I wanted to change out to the 5/16, pull that back, take that off, and then you want to turn it until that sleeve pops up there. Don't leave it back like that. Turn it back. It doesn't have to be really tight. And then put on my 5/16. So then I take my M8 out of here. Make sure you take this collar as well. Seat that all the way down. And then basically this collar is so that you can set your depth of how far you want the travel to be, and that's going to be dependent upon how thick your material is where you're setting your rivet stud. So again, you can adjust this depending on which rivet stud you're using as far as what material you're using. Keep things in their correct places. So if you want to see one in action, put it through there. And it seats properly, or seats firmly. Release, and then back off your tool. And there you see it squished around. It's solid in there. And there's our 5/16 inch nut. I'll be completely honest, these tools are really fun to use, and it really cleans up a surface. And things like the firewall in a vehicle where you have some decent structural steel, but it's definitely nothing where you can actually run a tap into, and you don't want to get to the other side, put a nut and washer on the other side, and then when you go to take it off, you know, you've got to have someone with a wrench on that side, you've got the socket on the other side. You can put a nut sert in there or a riv nut and be able to now access that with just a bolt running in it. And now we have the rivet studs where now we've got a stud sticking out of the firewall. And now we can mount that catch can or whatever it is we're mounting and be able to take that on and off with just taking off a nut, and the stud stays there. So really cleans things up, really makes things really easy. I use this pack out here for all my riv nuts. I've got all my different sizes in there, all the different adapters. Probably do the same for this one. However, it's kind of hard to source these studs. I'm going to have to do some searching. Right now, if you buy the Astro pneumatic kit, you get 5 of each of these studs, metric and SAE. Not sure where you get extra ones. Maybe I'll reach out to Astro and ask them, or do some more searching with Grainger, maybe some other industrial providers as well. We'll have a link in the description for the Astro. We may link this one as well. And this kit runs about $85, $88, somewhere in that range on Amazon. You can pick these up. Also keep track of us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and even TikTok. And if you don't mind, hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't done so already. And by all means, if you hated our video, how could you hate this video? Anyway, give us a thumbs down, but let us know in the comments why. Have a great day and keep smiling.